conversation and projection of the Sahel and the kind of FDI that was coming into the Sahel. So as UNDP, we reached out to the Special Coordinator for Development, the Sahel, we reached out to the SISG, and obviously President Goodluck Jonathan graciously accepted to accompany us on this journey to ask a single question. Why is the Sahel seen, as the director said, as a fractured region? Where did that disconnect between the state and its people happen, and how can we go back to re-looking at governance as the core mechanism for taking the continent, the region, to a different level? We invited 12 African scholars, researchers from across the region, male and female, very esteemed in their field, most of them are in this room, and asked them to lead on chapters that look at the issues of governance, from economic to digital, even to peace and security, from youth to women, and to local economic governance. We spent a year drafting and researching and talking to the people of the Sahel. We had 3 different consultations and brought in external reviewers. We had 2 senior supervisors on the project, our RCs in Rwanda and our former UNDP representative then in DRC. They are also in the room. And after a whole year, thanks to our seniors that are here, we were able to put the result to an external vetting test to see if the data in the report meets the reality that we see in the Sahel. I'm really privileged, Your Excellency, to say that today we have the report. I would invite now Chief Ma, the Special Coordinator for Development in the Sahel, maybe to talk to us about the content. I just wanted to talk about the process, to talk about the content and help us join you to launch the report. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, yen wa Banjul. Assalamu alaikum, yen wa Sahel, as we have heard. Mr. President, dear High Table, this morning it was raining, and I think it is still raining in African cosmology. When you organize a ceremony and it rains, it means you have the blessing of the Spirit. And may also the force be with us while we are here in Banjul. Mr. President, we have heard a very powerful statement this morning, and my takeaway from this statement is that we are in search of a missing piece, a peace without which we can have peace, security, and development. And that missing piece is governance reinvented. It's a very difficult, elusive, and complex concept, as we have heard from the statement of today. But we all know that when you want to analyze complexity, you have to go to the spirit of the matter. And here I would like to be speaking under the control of Pastor Theo, Father Theo, who said, and here I would like to refer to l'Évangile selon Saint Jean. In the scriptures, it is said that if you want to understand the Spirit, you have to go to the spoken words. And when I read this very complex document, the word that is most spoken is the word justice. It means that justice is the supremacy of governance. And here too, I would like to speak under the control of Imam Balde. When I scanned the document, I realized that the word justice, which is the most spoken, is spoken 232 times. In Islam, when you go through the 99 names of God, the one that matches 232 is Al-Kabir, which is the supreme. It is here, and I'm sure that the writers have been blessed by serendipity, because 232, which Mash Kabir, again is an affirmation of the supremacy of justice. Not only the primacy of justice have been taught in the theory of justice, but the supremacy of justice. But I will submit that this very complex notion of governance and of justice has to be deconstructed during our 3 days. I would suggest 3 avenues of deconstruction. Avenue number 1 is we also speak about the geopolitics of governance. Today, we are seeing a tension between growing sovereignty, me first, my country first, against solidarity, needed solidarity. And we can see that multilateralism is the threat, and the United Nations, which is the custodian of multilateralism, is under jeopardy. So we have really to drill down under this notion of geopolitical governance to understand really and go at the spirit of the matter. The second avenue I would like us to investigate is the political economy of governance. And here we have to speak truth. In our countries, we are seeing the dance of wolves around Lady Justice, be it the executive, be it the legislative, be it the judiciary. But I think we have to transform this dance of wolves into, as they would say in Senegal or in the Gambia, a malach, which is more powerful than the dance of wolves. But here too, in the political economy of governance, we have to deal with the tension between the elite, growing elite capture of governance and people's agency. That too is something that we have to put on the table. The third avenue I would like to explore is the future of governance in 2 dimensions. We have to look at the AI, which is a kind of Jekyll and Hyde, the positives and negatives, we cannot ignore it. But here I would like to speak on behalf of the young generation. We have also to contrast the governance of hope versus the governance of despair, which is prevalent in our countries. Let me conclude by saying that, and we have seen it with the COVID, I don't want us to try to build back better, but see how we can build forward better. Disruptions are not always bad. When we see disruptions, we got a little bit afraid. But disruptions, and we are seeing a lot of disruption in the Sahel, is a kind of invite to reconstruct the future, to imagine the future, which is the essence of our meeting here in Banjul. My end note, Mr. President, and President Jonathan said it, this shall not be just another meeting, but a moment of transformation. I would even call it the BMG, the Banjul moment of governance. I thank you.
Thank you very much. And this is the launch of the future of governance in the Sahel. We have evidence-based data to make us have a foundation for discussion moving forward. And all of the participation from all of you. And without further